Hello friends, it's Bee here with Double Libra Coaching. I help spiritual seekers such as yourself really deepen into mind, body, spirit, and live healthfully using the wisdom of astrology, yoga, breathwork, and so much more. Again, if you're new, welcome. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. This is your astrology weather report, if you will, for the week of December 16th through the 22nd. And I love giving these reports because, like so many other people, I check the weather every day. Don't you want to know when to grab your raincoat or umbrella? And so this is just sort of an overview of some of the astrological weather. And hopefully you will get some insights and sort of apply this to what's happening in your world. Of course, everyone's birth chart is different, so it may show up a little bit differently depending on where these things land in your birth chart, but I encourage you to really use your intuition and sort of expand on some of these ideas that I present today. And, as always, if it resonates, great. If not, throw it out, right? It's just my point of view, and I'm just sharing to try to expand your point of view a little bit. So I hope it's helpful. Anyway, coming into Monday the 16th, we're really coming off this energy of the full moon in Gemini. And it was a powerful moon. About 12 hours after that lunation was at its peak, the ruler of the moon, Mercury, stationed to go direct. So Mercury had been moving in a retrograde period since November 25th. So I want you to pause and really think back to that timeline. And, what were you doing? What sort of things were you maybe ruminating on in terms of your thoughts? Where did you feel like you weren't ready to maybe take action, or feeling like you didn't quite have clear direction? And knowing that Mercury's just starting to wake up, it's like waking up and kind of doing the stretch. So the energy is still a little bit slow, but we will start to see that forward momentum. So think about, for you, what has been kind of brewing under the surface since November 25th. And leading into midweek, the 18th, which is Wednesday, we have this really beautiful aspect. Yes, I'm calling a square a beautiful aspect. So we have the sun, which will be at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, making a square to Jupiter at 27 degrees of Pisces. And, some traditions of astrology will say squares are bad. I don't believe in bad or good. A square comes up to show us where we may need to take some action. And 27 degrees of Sagittarius, where the sun will be, is a very significant number. That is where our galactic center of the universe is. So I'm taking this, and of course Neptune and Pisces, this can be, Neptune first, I should say, is at home in Pisces, but that energy of Pisces is really hard to define, especially at the higher degrees, 27, 28, 29. These are the highest degrees of the zodiac, where these universal truths really live. These things that maybe on some level we know, but it's really hard to articulate. It's that true source of divine consciousness, whatever that means to you. That is what comes out of 27, 28, 29 degrees of Pisces. So when this energy is making a square to the sun at 27 degrees, Sagittarius, our galactic center, we really have an opportunity for some aha moments, some clarity, some downloads about our path forward. And it may not be crystal clear, and for me, that's not how spirit speaks to me, right? We don't necessarily get these clear-cut answers, but we may get some kind of light bulb idea, like an aha moment, and some sort of clarity on what the next steps might be. Now, granted, we're still, if you're in the northern hemisphere, kind of in this winter season, so it may not be the prime time to really move forward, and we may not quite see the way forward. Pisces is very, can be like the fog, like we're in this really dense fog, and if you've ever driven in the fog, it can be scary as hell. But having that trust, okay, here's the idea, here's the download, this is my aha moment. And I know that even though I can't see the way forward, I know Spirit has my back. That's that 27 degrees of Sagittarius and this Pisces energy at the highest degrees. There is a greater something, whatever that is to you, a greater power working on your side. So tap into that energy on the 18th. Really set some time aside to be intentional and try to work with these energies. You know, it's kind of like the square is where we're being asked to take action. So that is something actionable that you can be doing on that day, is just sitting in quiet reflection. And you know, for most people, that's when the aha moments and the downloads come, when we're quiet and still and with ourselves. So really, I encourage you to take advantage of that potent energy on the 18th. Moving along in the week, we have this beautiful opposition with the planet Mars, which has been retrograding. If you're following along these videos, you've heard me say or talk about Mars retrograde, and it's going to be in an opposition to Ceres, which is an asteroid that is really our Earth Mother. In the birth chart, Ceres can represent, you know, the way that ideally our souls needed to be nurtured, to be mothered. So it's really, this opposition is sort of calling into balance or asking you to look at, you know, your relationship to pleasure, play, creativity, and that's that opposition to Mars in Leo going retrograde. And where could you have been nurtured a little bit more in these areas when you were growing up? I know I was having a conversation the other day with a friend, and we were talking a lot about how we didn't get a lot growing up in terms of talking about things like pleasure or sexuality, aside from the fear wrapped around that. So that's just one example of what, you know, you could be being asked to look at. But really, the call here, or the opportunity, is where can you nurture yourself or remother yourself, if you want to take that term, regarding things involving pleasure, play, creativity. You know, maybe doing a little bit of journaling and looking back to your childhood. Where could those things have been nurtured differently? And how does that show up now? So really beautiful. I think that the Earth Mother series has some beautiful lessons for Mars as he's taking his retrograde through Leo right now, and eventually will be retrograding back into Cancer. So where can you nurture that part of you, and what did that look like growing up? Beautiful questions to reflect on as the week progresses. And then coming into the 21st, which is Saturday, in the Northern Hemisphere, we're having our winter solstice. So the darkest day, right? But what's on the other side is this celebration of more light. And by the way, happy birthday to my Capricorn friends. Don't forget your solar return reading for the year. But really, this is a beautiful day to just be in stillness and really honor your season, whatever's coming up for you. I think especially in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, winter really is a time that we're going inward. We're hibernating. That's what nature is doing. And maybe that's part of the lesson that Ceres, the Earth Mother, is offering up as well, in terms of, you know, sinking in with the rhythms of nature a little bit more. But I encourage you to do something on the 21st to really honor the solstice. It's a beautiful time. And the darkest day, it's just so symbolic, really, because it's like, we made it, in a sense, right? And what's coming through on the other side is more light. More light is coming when we make it through the darkness. You know, brighter days are always ahead, as cliche as that sounds, but that this is nature's built-in reminder of that, truly. So take advantage of that. The 21st, the exact time is about 4:20 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. So do something to honor that. Sit in some kind of ritual, meditation, just go inward and see what you discover, see what comes up regarding the themes that we have talked about this week. So this was a brief one. I plan to do a meditation practice for the solstice, which I will, of course, post on here. So be looking for that as we approach the 21st. And again, please give me a like, comment, subscribe, and do comment. I want to hear from people, and I want to hear how these energies are showing up for you. And if you know your rising sign or know what houses some of these things are happening in, really drop a comment and let me know. Let me know what's coming up, and we can kind of just track the energy. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, I'm B with Double Libra Coaching. So enjoy the week, take advantage of these beautiful energies, and happy soul searching. Namaste.